I'm Delilah, and I'm about to vent.
All right, Delilah, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm great.
Okay. So you texted me earlier today, aka Honey Garlic.
Hmm.
Where did you get that from?
It was random. I just wanted something spicy and zesty,
Hmm.
so I just
Okay.
picked honey garlic.
Joe, can't text people, guys that because you never know if they have a girlfriend. Like, how am I supposed to explain, aka Honey Garlic?
Well, that's where you know me from.
No,
My
I'm
Twitter,
just playing.
my
That's all.
Twitter name.
Yeah,
So,
it's a nice name. It's unique. Thank you. All right then. So Delilah, what do you do?
so I work as a mental health professional
Mm-hmm.
in the city of New York.
Mm-hmm. All right then. So how long you been doing that?
About 6, 7 years now.
Oh, okay. I used to work in that field myself. I used to work in the psych ward.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what have you learned?
In working in the
Mm-hmm.
mental health profession, anything can happen to anyone
Mm-hmm.
is what I've learned,
Mm-hmm.
and everyone's situation and story is different. No two people are the same.
Got you. Has it made you less judgmental?
Uh, yes and no. It
Mm-hmm.
makes me critical. I think differently sometimes
Mm-hmm.
about things. I make assessments. I wouldn't call them judgments, but
Mm-hmm.
I assess things.
Like, give me an example of like before your job something you would say, and after your job something you would say.
I I feel like before I used to be a little bit more naive to certain things.
Mm-hmm.
Probably when you see certain behaviors, you
Mm-hmm.
can kind of overlook it.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you see certain stuff now, it's like, I know where that's coming from,
Yeah.
or I have an idea where it's coming from.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of, I have a different lens of it when it comes to things like that.
Okay. So now that you learn to assess things differently, how does this work in friendships? Have you like I'm pretty sure you've seen like some behavior in your friends, they'd be like, oh, that's that.
Um, in my friendships, it's funny because I'm like the voice of reason.
Mm-hmm.
People tend to come to me for an advice or an opinion because they know that I'm like a logical person.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that's one aspect to it, and then just in my interpersonal relationships in general, I tend to be open minded. Like just give people a chance, and again try to just give everyone their own individual kind of like assessment or opinion or whatever it is, like when it comes to how we relate to each other. So
Oh, okay then. And so you don't think of any of your friends as just damn they crazy,
no,
or
no,
people
no,
that
and
you've had,
I,
people
I
that you've don't no longer talk to, or something
so
like
that's
that.
the thing. I feel like I feel like the people in my life who are close to me have a good like psychological base,
Yeah.
so like we can operate well. And people who I feel like are just really different and they operate on a way different kind of like page that I'm on, then it's not a good fit, and they typically don't stick around.
Hmm. Was that because of you?
Yeah, I
You
mean,
cut them off.
I wouldn't say cut them off, but they don't get close. Like all my friendships now are people who either have been around for years
Mm-hmm.
or like people who are coming in new. It's like it's because they fit and they're like welcomed in. But there are no friends that I've had for years or whatever that I needed to cut off because there was like maybe one or two instances where certain things kind of didn't really work, and those ways kind of just went separate ways, like
Mm.
naturally, gradually, kind of.
Okay, kind of just broke apart. All
Yeah.
right, then cool. So, being that you work in mental health and things of that nature, how has it allowed you to assess yourself?
Uh, well, when it comes to feelings of like anxiety or feeling depressed, like I have a good understanding of where it comes from. So that helps me in kind of like going through it.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm not immune to it, obviously. I'm human still, so I go through things, but I just do have a better understanding of what I'm going through. So it kind of gives me the insight to like what I can do to make things better or how to, not feel as bad when it comes to certain things.
How does your how does your job do that? I mean, cause for me, for an example, like I said, I've worked in mental health. Well, I quit in August.
Mm-hmm.
So I was in the psych ward about 5 years, right? And I think it gave me a better understanding for people's but not my own sense until I actually went to therapy.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I learned my own trades and my own, you know, mental health issues and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
So how would you say like working gave you difference about like yourself?
Um, I don't know. I don't know if I think what I can say is I think my work has helped me develop patience, and it
Mm-hmm.
has really helped me develop what my barriers and my boundaries should be. So in that way, I'm able to make better choices.
Mm-hmm.
I
Oh,
can't.
some of your clients have gotten attached to you.
Well, yeah, people always get attached when you kind of come into their life and you're someone who's helpful and you can help them, and
Mm-hmm.
you know you make the bad in their life not as bad. But just in general, as far as like the work that I do, I can't really say it's really helped me to like trigger like, oh, now I see why I'm this way with myself or anything like that. Like those, that hasn't really been the case, and that might be because like the work that I do and the population that I work with is the super disenfranchised
Mm-hmm.
population. So people who have like very serious and persistent mental illness, people who have histories of homelessness, incarceration, substance use, and that's kind of different from like, I don't want to say average, but like your average person who's a working, functioning adult, but they have anxiety and depression. So like those, it's a different spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
So most of my work has been with, that population. But I do feel like if I spoke to and engaged with more people who are like average,
Mm-hmm.
functioning people, that might give me more insight. But
Some more people like you, like on more people on your behavioral base.
yeah, yeah. But that really hasn't been much of my experience throughout my 6 years.
Oh.